Well, the boy's kind of small,
George Shrinks.
but it doesn't show at all.
George Shrinks.
Because he's always acting tall.
George Shrinks.
George Shrinks, he's called. If a problem should be found,
George Shrinks.
he's the boy to have around.
George Shrinks.
Something big or something small. George Shrinks, he's called. George always seems to find a way to make his dreams come true each day. His brother Junior does a call.
George Shrinks.
Well, Daddy blows a bugle call.
George Shrinks.
And Mama keeps an eye on all.
George Shrinks.
George Shrinks. George Shrinks. George Shrinks. George Shrinks. George Shrinks.
The thing about mothers is they're always prepared. And that goes double for Mother Nature. So when the newscasters predicted that the biggest blizzard of the winter was about to hit, I figured most of my backyard buddies were well taken care of. But like my mom always says, a little help rarely hurts. So Becky and I figured we'd lend Mother Nature a helping hand. Just in case.
How long until the storm hits?
The weather guy said it could be any time now. We better get to it.
There's Goldie. I hope she's okay down there. She's hardly moving.
She's fine. She's just hibernating. When the water gets cold, a goldfish's entire body slows down to save energy.
All right, Mr. Bookworm Smarty Shrinks. What do goldfish eat when they hibernate?
Not a bite. Hibernating means they don't need food and use a lot less oxygen.
But small frozen ponds can run out of oxygen before spring arrives, can't they?
Not with the George Shrinks winter pond aeration system. Where's that chain? Aha! All we have to do is pop the cork. That should air the place out a little.
It's like Goldie's got her own underwater igloo down there. What happens if the water freezes solid?
The pond's pretty deep, so it shouldn't. But if the whole thing does start to freeze, the shrink's isometer will tip us off. If the ice gets too thick, it will push the log down, which will pull the fishing line, which will set off the tip-up. The warning flag will pop up, and I'll know we need to get Goldie out of there fast.
Looks like Goldie's all set. Who's next on our list?
We're going up. Tucking in Goldie for the winter was easy. She's on ground level, and we don't have to feed her anything. But to get supplies to some of the other folks in my yard, I had to rise to the challenge. Nothing like frozen canvas to put a chill in your bones. Becky, can you hand me the Acorn-O-Matic, please?
All aboard the Nut Express, departing Shrink Station.
Nut Express?
Sorry, George. Nothing personal.
You guys are way ahead of the weather report. Looks like you've already laid in your winter supplies. But we brought extras, just in case. That ought to hold you. But if the storm gets really bad, how will we know if you're running low? If your stash gets low, the good old frozen sock flag will tip down, and we'll know to come back and top things off. Sound good? The pleasure's all mine. Why, thank you. Very much. Reel me in, Beck. Delivery for Mrs. Bunny.
She's probably got a full cupboard, too. But I bet she'll be happy to have some carrots, just in case. Hiya, Mrs. Bunny. What's new in your rabbit world?
Whoa! You're what's new.
We haven't seen you before. You must have just been born. Isn't he a cutie?
I can't tell. He's zipping by me so fast I can't get a good look at him. Now I see it. I can't argue with Becky, Mrs. Bunny. He's as cute as a cottontail. He's late in the season for a newborn, though. He could use a thicker coat for this weather.
So what do we call you, big fella? Bunny Jr.?
The way he's zipping around, we should call him Zipper. This storm's gonna be a doozy, Zip. You're a little too little to be outside in it, so stay in with your mama for the time being, okay?
Here's some extra supplies, just in case.
Take care, you two. Okay, we've aired out the pond, delivered emergency supplies for the resident rodents, and reseeded the sparrow's birdhouse. Sounds like everything's copacetic.
Except that...
What was that?
George, the birdhouse!
It's gonna drop.
It'll smash into a million pieces!
Grab the shovel. It's coming down. Run for cover. Whoa!
I think our snow pile softened the fall.
Yeah, it only smashed into 6 pieces.
And knocked the local sparrows out of house and home.
Don't worry, buddies. We won't leave you homeless with the storm on the way. We'll build you some new digs pronto.
I have just the thing to get us started.
Sure you won't miss this place? It's kind of nifty.
Dollhouses are for kids, and sometimes for chilly sparrows. It will be going to better use as a sparrow house.
I bet the sparrow family can use a bit more room anyway. And maybe we should add a few necessities.
We'll need some straw or cloth strips for insulation.
And maybe an indoor heated bird bath.
That's a great idea.
I couldn't agree more. With a few small changes, the dollhouse would really be for the birds. It was time to put on my trusty hard hat. It's still missing a little something.
What do you have in mind?
That winter storm we've been warning you about is almost upon us, folks, so batten down the hatches. If you're out and about, it's time to head home. And if you're already home, good for you. Now we suggest that you stay there.
Supplies!
Exactly, Junior. We have to be prepared for when the storm hits.
I hope you'll be comfortable in your new house. It's roomy, but still homey, don't you think? Big enough for a roommate, I see. Hello, Miss Robin. Guess you missed your flight south. The Habitat Hotel's fantastic, George. And it's got tons more room. Maybe we should take out ads.
Only the finest for our fine, feathered friends. What? What's wrong? Don't worry. The Habitat Hotel is not only comfy, it's Predator and Sparkle Tangerine proof.
Scat Cat. You better find some cover too, Sparkle. A big storm is on the way.
Okay, all that's left to do is set up the walkie-talkies so we can monitor the situation. Batteries are good. All right, my beaked buddies. Becky and I hope you'll find your stay comfortable. If there's anything you need, chirp right up. We'll hear you through this. Enjoy.
Well, it's not in the cupboard beneath the stairs. Remind me to dust in there later.
What are you looking for, Harold?
That hand-cranked generator I started working on in the middle of the last big blizzard.
The one you put together just as the lights went on.
The one and only.
Want some help looking?
No. You and Junior keep unloading the supplies. I'll find it sooner or later. Say, what's with the spy setup?
You said everyone should prepare for the big storm, so ta-da! Critter Command Central. We've alarmed every nest, burrow, and den in the whole yard. We'll monitor them from here during the blizzard.
We've topped up the food supplies, made sure there's fresh water, and all the sensors and readouts are battery or mechanically operated.
In case the power goes out.
Power out. Oh, right. Which brings me back to the task at hand. I have to find that pesky generator.
Not until you see our pièce de résistance, Dad. Check this out.
Smolder and saxophone. What is it?
The new and improved birdhouse. We changed Becky's old dollhouse into an animal shelter. It's fully insulated for warmth and predator-proof, too.
Oh, looks like you've done quite the job. Yeah, I hope I can do half as well scaring up that generator.
Are all your animals taken care of?
Let's see. Squirrels,
Birds,
fish,
rabbits,
How about Sparkle Tangerine?
Sparkle.
Go.
You could say I was surprised by Mom's suggestion, but that would be an understatement. Not only was Sparkle technically not our cat, but I considered him just as big a danger to the other backyard animals as the coming storm.
Sparkle's a living creature and deserves your help too, kids.
We knew Mom was right. If we were going to make sure that all of Mother Nature's critters were prepared for the blizzard, we had to add Sparkle to the list. Besides, I figured if we made sure Sparkle's stomach wasn't running on empty, he was less likely to try and fill it with our other backyard buddies.
Ooh, the wind has really picked up. All clear, George?
One storm emergency kit, 4 cats. Now that's what I call service with a smile.
I guess that's why they call it a muffler.
It was finally here. The storm. Mother Nature's winter fury. Let's get back to the house, stat.
Ah, behind the turnips in cold storage, eh? You can't hide from me.
I think your dad found the generator.
I found the hand crank generator.
Good call. Dad? How long do you think it'll take to get that generator up and running? While the animals outside were well prepared for the storm, we got caught in the dark.
Bye-bye, lights.
Goodness, the ice and wind must have toppled a power line. Everyone all right?
Looks like everyone's A-okay.
Who in the world? Russell, what are you doing out in this weather?
I got caught a bit unprepared. I ran to the market to get candles, but on my way home, the traffic lights stopped working and the snow is clogging the roads. Mind if I wait out the worst of it here?
Russell, stay.
Yes, Russell's gonna wait out the storm with us.
Very kind of you. Thanks. You're welcome to some candles. I've got a year's supply.
Come on in here, Russ. It's blowing like Satchmo out there.
Yes, come in. Our home is your home.
Nope. I sold it to you fair and square. This does bring back memories, though. I spent the blizzard of 40 in the basement, trying to keep the pipes from freezing.
Well, now, Russell, what do you know about hand crank generators? I got one downstairs that seems extra cranky.
Well, Harold, why don't I give you a hand?
Uh-oh. Excuse me, Mr. Copeland.
Where's the fire?
In the backyard, but it's not a fire. It's the Habitat Hotel's front door alarm.
The wind must have blown it open.
I don't remember any hotel in the backyard when I lived here.
This is a recent addition. Go have a look while I rustle up some more light.
It's the front door, all right.
That's quite a birdhouse.
It was hanging from the big tree.
But all this ice and snow crashed it.
So we turned Becky's old dollhouse into a brand new multi-bird shelter.
Look at that big tree. Hard to believe I planted that from a sapling no bigger than you, George, when I was right about your age.
Wow, that is old.
It is at that, George.
Better get that door closed before we end up with 4 birds of freezing.
George, you sure you want to go out in that storm?
No need to go out when you have the remote control Shrink's doorman at your service. Can I get some light, please?
Coming right up.
Whoa, she's a real fighter. How am I doing?
Almost there. Got it! Good work, George. They're snug as a bug in a rug.
It's us I'm worried about. With the furnace fan not working, this house is gonna get real cool real quick. While you fix the generator, Mr. Copeland, Becky and I will bring up some wood for the fireplace.
Sounds like you're prepared as always, Commander Shrinks.
Maneuver in there, George. Meant to fix that latch last summer.
Better check the windows upstairs. There's no point being inside unless the snow stays outside.
First things first, we've got a home to reheat.
Give her a turn, Harold.
Just needs a bit of finesse in this whole a little TLC. Oh, great.
Another game of Go Fish?
No fish.
Old maid.
No maid.
No more cards?
No cards. Hug.
Oh, tough times don't always mean tough choices, do they, Junior? George, is that one of your alarms?
I don't see any warning lights.
Nope, it's not one of our alarms. What in the world is it?
George, look! It's coming right out of the ground.
A whole tree is uprooting!
It landed on the hotel.
I didn't need flashing lights and beeping alarms to tell me that all our preparations had just come crashing to the ground. Mom! Dad! Quick! We've got a real emergency! Not to diminish the gravity of the situation, but gravity was what caused this problem. With the added weight of 1 trillion icicles. It was also why we couldn't just lift that hulking tree off the hotel to free the trapped animals inside. We needed help big time. At least the storm had eased up a bit. But for how long?
We're coming, George!
Well, at least the snowmaking machine has turned it down a notch.
Me help animals too.
How about you and I set up a little animal examining room in the garage? Make sure everyone gets through this okay.
Great idea. You and Russell can be the animal docs. If anyone's not feeling well, we'll bring them your way. Okay, kiddo?
Okay.
No need to panic, squirrels. I'm bringing you and your food over to the garage. Hop in. Yep, this rescue mission was a real team effort. Under normal conditions, of course, I'd never touch a baby animal or a nest. This was an emergency. We had to work fast but carefully, making sure to keep all the critters as calm as possible.
That one looks fine. Let's get these patients to the ER.
The heart's racing a bit from all the activity, but other than the scrape on his paw, this squirrel will be back collecting acorns in no time.
How long were you a veterinarian, Mr. Copeland? Or should I say Dr. Copeland?
Almost 35 years, George.
Oh, the animals sure are lucky you got caught in the storm.
I'm sure you and Becky would have done fine without me. You kids were prepared for anything.
Here's another sparrow, Mr. Copeland. He seems to be okay.
Sparrows, check. The squirrel family's accounted for. What happened to the rabbits? Their burrow home was under those roots. Come on, Beck, we gotta find Zipper.
little guy must have hopped away after the tree fell.
You mean the other little guy? These are his tracks. Those were his tracks. Zipper!
Over here!
Where are you? Zipper! Oh, I sure hope Zipper's not trapped under all this snow. Zipper!
George, over here! I see him!
Zipper! Thank goodness!
Stay there!
Zipper, stay still. Don't move.
Oh no! Look! It's Sparkle! He's going after Zipper!
Sparkle, no, leave the bunny alone!
Zipper, no! George, we can't go out on the ice. It's too dangerous.
I know. But we gotta do something to stop Sparkle from...
Yes!
Good job, Sparkle! Don't worry, Sparkle! I won't let your heroics go to waste! Steady, George. Steady. Got him! Just like the game at the carnival. Only this bunny's not stuffed. Now, let's get you to Dr. Copeland's clinic before you catch a cold. Nice work, Sparkle. Right back at you. And there's Goldie, completely unconcerned. She could sleep through anything, especially winter. Mother Nature's pretty amazing, huh? You can't take her mood for granted. It can change in a blink of an eye. But it's nice to see that even the worst of winter storms can bring out the best in both people and animals. Sparrows check, robin check, squirrels check, rabbits check. So everyone and everything's healthy and accounted for then. Except for the tree out back, Mr. Copeland, the one you planted when you lived here. It went from tree to firewood in one fell swoop.
Well, George, guess it's up to you now. You'll just have to plant a new seedling in its place when the spring rolls around. In a few years, it'll be big enough to house a whole host of critters.
Sounds good, but, Mr. Copeland, maybe you can help me plant it when the time comes.
Sure enough, George. I'm an old hand at that sort of thing.
Eureka!
I think your dad found the problem with the generator.
I found the problem with the generator!
You're good. You're very good.
Almost. Got it. Working. It is working!
Great work, Dad!
Wonderful, honey.
Excellent!
Fine job, Harold.
Whoa, Dad! Your generator even powered up the streetlights.
And the storm seems to be petering out over the foothills.
And the television.
Ah, fiddlesticks. It wasn't the generator. They fixed the power line.
Storm of the season.
And right at your moment of triumph, Dad. Bummer.
I don't mind, kiddo. We got our light and heat back, and everybody's safe and sound. That's what's important. Then, now I'm really prepared for the next storm.
Sunny, storm go away.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Junior.
Come on, George. Now that the storm's over, let's go play in the snow.
Well, there you had it. We'd survive the kind of storm you end up telling your kids about until they're bored to tears. You lost a great old tree. But Russell and I would plant another. The definitely reminded all of us that you really have to respect the power of good old Mother Nature. And sometimes, you even have to be prepared for a surprise or two.